Welcome back to Hidden Oaks Homestead. Chip and Nicole. Barn Talk number 4.
Who would have thought?
It's fun.
Yeah, I like it.
Hanging out in the barn with you guys.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
I like it. It's good catching up and asking questions and addressing some stuff that we really don't talk about in our regular videos.
It's a little stressful.
It is.
It's a little.
Well, this week is a little bit stressful because we're going towards the end of the school year, and so the kids have all of their end of year performances and all the stuff that they've been practicing for all year. So not only do we have sheep, not only do we have our regular week and all the running around, now we also have concerts, and Amber has a performance this weekend, and then of course all of the rehearsals that go with it, the last minute dress rehearsals and everything. So lots of running around to do this week.
That's not what I'm talking about though.
Well,
you just springing it on me. We typically do this on Thursdays. Today's Wednesday. Probably still gonna post it on Friday.
Yes.
Still, so it's Friday for you, unless you're late watching. But it's Wednesday for me, and this is not the day that we do this.
No, he was not prepared.
Because of all the kids' stuff, it got pushed to today, and I had to work late today. So I got home from work, and I'm ready to...
Now he's camera ready.
Do some chores and chill, and now we're in the barn talking, but that's okay.
Yeah.
So
it's all good.
This week
on Hidden Oaks Homestead,
pigs.
I'll let him tell the story because if I tell it, he's gonna get mad at me.
Just not the pig farmer that I think I am in my head. Every time, so it's time to take pigs to the butcher, and it's the most stressful time of growing pigs. Is just getting them loaded. I wish there was a way you could just get them to just file in one after the
line
other.
up.
Like we're getting on the ark, just getting a single file line and just march onto the livestock trailer, but that's not the way it is. And I'm not a professional pig farmer, so I don't have all the professional chutes and
equipment.
So I'm out there with my livestock trailer, some cattle panels,
and some feet,
and a whole bunch of motivation, and just trying to get it done. And they don't understand how hard it is on me, and they just don't want to get on the trailer. So I had to make some adjustments today, and
it'll be fine.
It's gonna be fine. But I was supposed to take 6 to the butcher this morning, and I took 1. I managed to get 1 single pig.
I'm proud of you though, because usually you'd be in a really crappy mood for the rest of the week. You're getting over this. It's good.
Yeah, it was supposed to be 6. I got 1 in. I pulled up to the butcher. They're ready to unload 6, and I got 1 pig. So I talked with them. We worked it out. We were just gonna try what we can try.
Day by day.
If it's one at a time, to get them up one at a time. Luckily, the processor that we use is right around the corner. It's literally like an 8-minute drive. So it's not that bad, but it's just demoralizing.
And I just don't get involved. I was like, do you need my help?
No, I don't need your help. No.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? How are you gonna help?
Like, all right.
You're just gonna suggest stuff that
is gonna work probably.
You're just gonna suggest stuff that you're not gonna do. Why don't you do it this way? I'm not doing it, but you do it this way. That's what you're gonna do.
So I just sit back and watch and laugh.
And laugh.
It's because it's hilarious.
So while we're talking about fails.
Huh?
While we're talking about fails.
What fails?
What fails? Our house right now smells like we've shaved every pig that we own, and we burnt all of their hair in the middle of our house. What fails? What fails have you been going through this week?
I totally burned bacon yesterday. I put it on a stovetop, and silly me, I walked away and I completely got distracted by my garden and harvesting in the garden. And as I walk back towards the house, the whole house is just smoking out of every crevice. It's like, holy cow, what did I do? And I walk back in, it's like, oh,
So
I forgot. Oops.
I was unable to load a couple of pigs this morning. Nicole almost burnt down our entire livelihood.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Let's laugh at Chip because he couldn't load a pig.
Fine. But I had every single window and every single door open today, and it still smells. So I wiped down everything, I cleaned everything, everything is out of the house. Might take a little bit for that smell to get out of the house.
I came home from work, I'm like, oh yeah, Nicole almost tried to burn the house down yesterday because it still smells.
It does. It's
like
not as
burnt
bad
hair.
though, because I had everything open, and we had a good breeze going today, so we moved some of that smell out.
So last night I was down with the pigs. Just waiting for them to walk onto the livestock trailer, and I was like, that's weird. It smells
smells like pig.
Like something's on fire right here. And y'all, I'm like 500 feet away from the house.
See, I thought we were done talking about that now.
No, now I got to
on
get
yet?
That's odd that you want to move on already. You weren't ready to. You still want to talk about pigs, but you want to move on from burning the house down.
Well, we have more pig stuff to talk about.
I was loading pigs and I smell a fire, not like just a fire, like a burning diaper. Wasn't just it didn't smell like just a regular fire. And I was like, that's odd. That's a weird smell in the air. And then it just kept getting stronger, and I'm at least 500 feet away from the house. And then I decided to go investigate, and I start walking up to the house, and I could see that Nicole's not in the house. So then I have a mild panic attack, and I dart to the house, take off running. I was like, our house must be on fire because nobody's in there supervising whatever is on fire. And I get there, and just the house just reeks.
Just filled
and
with smoke.
I look out into the garden, and Nicole's just at work. So apparently she had already put out the fire. And was it a fire?
No.
Do you know how?
Not a fire.
You know how bad grease fires are?
Yes.
Oh man.
It was not a fire.
Not yet.
It was smoky smoke.
I wonder how far away it was. So I look out to her, and I ask her, "Hey, what happened?" Don't worry about it. It's fine. Immediate defensive mode with her.
Yeah, like you.
Just fine. I took care of it. She's probably she's like, as soon as she figured it out, she's like, I'm gonna have to hear about this. So we're gonna talk about it today. But that's all I got.
See? That's all you got. I mean, whenever he does have something that he can complain about, he's got to hold it over my head.
It's not a complaint. Just don't burn the house down. It's not a complaint.
I didn't. So there you go. Probably not going to cook today because it's going to be late.
Yeah, you can't cook unless you're being supervised. For a while, you're going to have to prove to me that you can not try to kill us.
Whatever.
So, question this week that we got.
Oh, are we done talking about this week?
What else?
The puppies are starting to walk.
The puppies, yeah. They're getting little teeth.
They're so sweet.
They're starting to eat solid food.
Play,
We're about to get ready to unveil them to the camera soon, but not today.
Man.
Not today. Pretty soon we're gonna start unveiling them, and then it's gonna be all puppy footage.
Yeah, I got myself some puppy therapy yesterday because work was getting on my nerves. So I stepped away from the computer. I came down to the barn, and as soon as I stepped in, as soon as they hear somebody rustling or something around, they wake up from their puppy nap, and they all start barking and howling.
They don't do that with me.
Yeah, well.
It's dead sleep whenever.
You're not a mama, I guess. I don't know.
Maybe I'm just quieter.
Maybe mamas just smell different.
Just stealthier.
But so I climb in there in that little cage that we got set up for him. Not a cage, but like a enclosure.
A pen.
Yeah, a pen. And I just sit in there. and it's just the most awesome thing in the world. They're so cute.
Yep, their eyes are open. They're starting to get their feet and walk around. They got little nubs for teeth poking through their gums. Got puppy breath.
Best thing in the world.
Puppy breath is awesome.
It's awesome. They are sweet.
So we'll be putting them on camera shortly.
What?
Just ignore the sheep.
The sheep.
Just ignore the sheep. That's something else. I think our time with sheep is coming to an end. Because we know we got a friend that raises sheep, and he said that anytime we need a sheep, he's got sheep. If we want to buy one from him to process, like I've said before, you don't have to do everything yourself.
Yep.
We don't need a herd. Is it a flock? I'm doing this again.
I don't know.
We don't need a herd of sheep to grow out a sheep a year. It's not necessary.
Yeah.
We could just reach out to him.
I think one or two sheep a year is probably going to be fine. Well, let's start with one and see how long it lasts.
They are just a huge strain on the soil and on the grass that I'm trying to grow.
Yeah.
There's such a heavy load on
I mean,
the
I
grass.
don't mind them having them here, but with us trying to establish pasture, they are not helping.
And we've only got two pastures. We got a north and a south.
Yeah.
Our plan is to eventually get more cross fencing up. But and keeping goats and sheep is hard, and you're not supposed to grain feed sheep because it's unnecessary. It's a waste of feed.
I mean, you're not supposed to grain feed goats.
You can't. No,
either.
you aren't supposed to grain. They need the boost in the morning. They don't live solely off of it, but they need it. But sheep do not need grain at all. They don't need it. So when we feed, it's a pain trying to separate everybody because the sheep are getting into everything. And I think we're just ready to move on from sheep.
Yeah, I'm fine. Moving on.
We can remove sheep and add goats.
I'm not emotionally attached.
You can't because they're so...
But I do like to eat them. They taste really good. So I like to eat them, and that's the reason why we got them in the first place. So we didn't just get them...
They're not pets.
Out of nothing. We got them to raise them out for meat. But as with everything, we probably took it too far. 2 would have been fine.
I don't think we took it
We
too
don't
far.
need as many as we have. 2 would have been just fine. But Chip can't just have 1 or 2. He's got to have a whole zoo.
You got to have a herd.
So, whatever.
But we could move on from the sheep and just add to our goat herd.
Yeah.
I think that would be best.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Ooh, I made some soap today. Talking
you?
about goats and goat
you?
milk. I made soap today. I took a day off today from work because I've had it and I needed a day to just step away. So I made soap and I made bread
Awesome.
and like I wiped down everything in the house because everything smells like burnt bacon. And I did 3 loads of laundry. And I did some gardening, and I did some weeding, and some mowing, and some pig chasing because Chip got new feeder pigs to process for October. And of course now they're just running around free because we don't plan ahead. We just kind of throw things into the fence and hope for the best. But that's how we roll, right?
Yeah.
That's how we roll.
And it works.
Yeah,
It works.
sure.
We love the stress.
Yeah, we do. Apparently.
Yeah. So, question we got asked. Can we talk about?
Yes, we can
questions?
move on. Yep.
We got asked about our children, how they have transitioned from life in the Middle East to life on the farm.
You want to start?
No, that's why I brought up the question.
It was a multifaceted question, I guess. It wasn't just that, but also, hey, are they like real Americans? Are they born in America and things like that? So yeah, so both of them are born in Pensacola. So they're both real Americans with real American passports. Amber was 5 when we moved to the Middle East. Zachary was 1.5 years, almost 2.
2. He
Yeah,
was
2 when we moved. And that's all they knew, really, was the Middle East and growing up over there. And It was extremely diverse. The school that they went to was an international school, and they shared it with 82 different nationalities. So 82 different nationalities, different languages, different cultural background, everything. So it was pretty amazing. One of my favorite things that they did in the school over there was International Day. And it was amazing. They put that up once a year, and it was on the weekend so that everybody could come, and every country had like a little tent or a little booth set up. And so depending on how much the parents wanted to do, most of them went all out with, international foods and drinks, and everybody dressed up in national gear, garb, or whatever you call it, national costume. And they had performances and all kind of stuff. And it was just awesome. Like, I loved everything about it, because you could literally go. And I think my favorite places were always Greece and Italy and Malaysia, because they had the best food and the best drinks every year. And it was awesome. Of course, I stopped by in Germany as well. Unfortunately, there was a very, very small group of Americans at the school, and the kids actually associated more with the German group than with the American group. So we really didn't get involved with the American group over there. And so when it came to International Day, the kids dressed up as Germans.
That's because Americans
don't
dress up.
Yeah, wear a football jersey. There you go. There's our national uniform. Tailgate. But so they always wore their German clothes, and we went by the German booth and did all that, and had a lot of fun. And they had a great time over there. They had a really good time in the school over there. The school system was different, but it really depended on where you enrolled the kids. So there were American schools over there as well. We chose not to enroll them in an American school. The international school that they went to was a British curriculum school, or international curriculum, international bachelor curriculum, whatever. And because we knew whenever we came back, we wanted them to adjust easily, but we were not a fan of the American curriculum schools over there. We just didn't want to go with that. So that's what they did. And then coming back, it was, school-wise, it wasn't really a hard adjustment. Well, it was a hard adjustment because we came back March 2020, so we enrolled them in school here. They went to school for 4 days, and then they went on spring break. And then after spring break, school was closed because of COVID, so they never went back. And we had to finish out the school year at home, homeschooling with worksheets and things like that. And then the year after that, because nobody knew what was going on with COVID and masks and distancing and PE and all of that, we homeschooled. So that was different. So that was an adjustment for all of us. And then this school year is the first school year that they're actually going to an American school and making friends. And so it's been an adjustment in different steps. So they came from an international environment to homeschool to now public school. And Amber probably had the hardest time. Zachary really didn't care one way or the other.
Yeah, he's still young.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like Amber's old, but
Amber's going through teenager stuff.
Yeah,
so.
she had her group of friends, and not that Zachary didn't have his group of friends, but he's a boy, so he really.
But when you're in that teenager, that preteen time, people have already got their groups and their friends that they hang out with, and it's hard to crack into those once they're already established. And that's kind of what she's been going through, is just trying to get her foot in the door and try to fit in with a bunch of kids that she knows nothing about in a culture that she knows nothing about.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. She really doesn't know the culture. It
Yeah.
is different. And yeah, as Americans, you don't really think about anything outside of the U.S. when it comes to like culture and things that are different in other places in the world. And then we moved back here, and I mean, we knew what we're coming back to, but the kids really had no clue
Yeah.
because they grew up in the Middle East where American culture was really not a thing, right? And I mean, Amber, well, both of the kids, when we did homeschooling, that was the first time that they had like civics, right? Like American history,
yeah.
because in an international environment, it's international history, right? It's not just about America, it's about the rest of the world as well. So they were definitely behind when it comes to that. But they were fine. They did fine with school. And now
they make great grades.
Yeah.
They pride themselves in doing well in their classes and making good grades.
They do. Amber likes to remind us that she's a straight A student or an honors student.
They're both straight A students who do really well, and we put a lot on them here. So for them to be able to maintain really good grades in school with what we put on them here on the homestead, because they are very active members
of this farm,
of what we do out here. They're probably the only kids in their schools that are up 2 hours before school starts to
do chores,
to feed goats and to let out chickens.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's a country school. There's lots of farmers in that school.
I promise you. There's a difference between farmers and homesteaders. Farmers are the guys that are in the cotton fields.
Yeah.
Homesteaders are the people with the small scale stuff like we're doing. That's a big difference between a farmer and a homesteader. So
yeah, I guess.
I think and I'm not saying nobody else, but it's probably very few that are up at 6 o'clock in the morning before the sun is up.
Yeah.
Out there feeding goats and letting chickens out and
taking care of the dogs and everything else. I mean, we have morning chores and we have evening chores, and they are very actively involved, and we have pretty high expectations as well. So if they don't do their chores, there's consequences.
Yeah. I know when I was a child, when I was their age, my parents were dragging me out of bed with enough time to brush my teeth and eat breakfast before I got on the school bus. That's about how much time I had before I had to get on the school bus. And these kids are up an hour and a half, 2 hours before they go to school so that they can take care of their chores before they get ready for school. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's true. They're good kids. They are. Zachary is more of an early riser than Amber.
Yeah.
Amber needs to, I mean, she doesn't need to be drug out, but I definitely need to get her out of bed, because otherwise she needs some extra encouragement in the morning.
Yeah, she needs some encouragement in the morning. Zachary, he's up before we are.
Yeah,
not before me, but
no, I mean, he meets me. We both get up at the same time. He meets me in the living room, ready to go, ready for chores. Amber, I need to walk to her rooms like,
let's go.
Are you up?
Let's go.
Are you dressed? Come on, let's go. So, so Zachary has usually already started with his chores by the time Amber finally makes her way out of her out of her room. But it's fairly structured. Zachary does his thing. With the dogs and the chickens, Amber and I come down to the barn, take care of the rest of it. Chip does his thing before he goes to work, and they all do really well with it.
Yeah. So overall, it's been a really, really smooth transition for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has. I mean, they've been doing good. They've made friends. They do well in school. Amber has already enrolled in advanced classes for next year because she's bored with the regular stuff. So I would say it's going pretty well.
Yeah. So keep the questions coming. Keep the questions coming.
Yeah. I mean, we've got some other questions that we need to answer in the next few barn talks that are coming up. But
we're running out of daylight.
We are. And this one was one that came up fairly often.
Impromptu barn talk today.
Impromptu.
Yeah.
Sorta.
Thrown together. Was not expecting it when I got home.
It's like one day early. It's
but
fine.
we made it. We did it.
We did it. We're committed.
Yep. And we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.